Okay, raise your hand if you've heard the advice that you need to be consistent. Everybody tells you that, right? They're like, success is on the other side of consistency. I'm pretty sure I have a book on my shelf too. Yeah, a book called The Compound Effect. If you just keep going, it compounds and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, which I don't disagree with. But what if that's not totally true for all of us? Go with me here. I believed it too. I was like, this is what I need. I have to be consistent all the time. That's what's going to get me to my dreams. And I don't disagree. Here's the thing. I don't disagree. I do think that consistency can be incredibly helpful. But what if you're someone like me who has an incredibly difficult time being consistent and you're just not really a consistent person? Then what do you do? Well, I'll tell you what I do. Just beat myself up. I'm like, well, you're a failure. You're never going to be good at this because you can never be consistent. You must be lazy. There's obviously something wrong with you. Okay, everybody, if this resonates with you, then you're in the right place. I've heard this from hundreds of clients, which is why it's really fun to make fun of myself and make fun of all of this while I'm talking about it. And I want to just break some of the myths and give you an alternate way to think about it, which will ironically make you more consistent by trying to be less consistent. Let's dive right in. Okay, first off, let me introduce myself. My name is Amber Deibert. I'm a performance coach for enterprise and strategic account executives. I help with mindset and productivity. And I feel like the idea of consistency kind of falls in both of those categories. We want to be more productive. We want to be more consistent, but our mindset kind of gets in the way of us being that way. So let's talk about this. If you've ever beaten yourself up for not being consistent, this episode is for you. I'm going to show you why being consistent doesn't always work, and forcing yourself into consistency isn't always the best option. We're going to talk about fast recoveries and how that can help you even more so, and how to set yourself up for success by protecting your energy and acknowledging your energy rather than punishing yourself. So let's dive right in. Okay, so I am the classic. I love productivity. I'm obsessed with it. I read all the books. I listen to all the gurus. I study everything. Like anytime I can get like another ounce of efficiency out of my day, I'm just obsessed with it. I'm also neurotypical. I have ADHD and my brain's not as good at executing on those techniques as some other people's would be. So what typically happens is I'll make all these plans. I'll get this new idea. I'll be super pumped about it. I'll build out the trackers. I've got my sticker charts and my tick charts, and I'll have exactly the plan, knowing exactly what needs to happen. And I commit. I'm like, that's it. We're being consistent. We're doing this. I feel so pumped up. I feel so ready for it. Like this time it's going to be different. Raise your hand if you've said that to yourself before. Because every time I believe it, I'm like, yes, this time it's going to be different. I know it. And then like 5 days into my new initiative, I fall off the bandwagon. I fall off again. And then I'm like, dang it, Amber, what's wrong with you? You must just be lazy. You must just be incompetent. You must not have it in you. I guess you're not cut out for this. You're never going to be able to create what you want. You've never been good enough. It always goes down that hole. So if this resonates with you, I promise you're not alone. And I hear this from so many people. And can I also recognize that I hear this from so many very high achievers, people who have achieved a lot, who have accomplished a lot. They still have these beliefs and these thoughts. So if you have these thoughts, you're actually in great company and you're not alone. I learned this from Kelly Banks. She writes this phenomenal newsletter for people with ADHD. It's called The Dopamine Dispatch. I love it. Highly recommend it. Go find it on Substack. So Kelly presented something that completely blew my mind and changed the way that I think about all of this. She talked about how people who have ADHD are just not built for consistency. It's not something that we even really should expect of ourselves, and it's not the way that our brains are built. Our brains are built for kind of wacky energy. Sometimes we have tons of energy and sometimes we're totally zapped and we have zero energy. And so Kelly talked about, rather than setting yourself up for disaster by expecting yourself to be consistent, which if you have ADHD and you're consistent, amazing. I'm so happy for you. Please don't change anything. However, if you're like the rest of us who have a really difficult time with consistency, what Kelly recommended is, rather than focusing on being consistent, she recommended focus on fast recovery times. Focus on resetting yourself quickly. Just come to expect that you're not going to be consistent every time you want to be consistent, and instead focus on how can you recover quickly. When I thought about things in this area, it changed everything for me. It really helped me to accept myself more, to realize that I am not a robot and it's okay for me to not be consistent. And so instead, I do a personal check-in with myself every day. I kind of gauge like, where is my energy level? Was I awake with my kids last night? Did I just get home from a conference and I'm tired from travel? Am I feeling kind of ill today? Where am I starting from? And then I like to set a realistic expectation of what I can accomplish. And believe me, this does not come easily. This does not come naturally. What usually happens is my inner critic is screaming at me saying, you need to be better. You need to be more. You need to accomplish more. This is not good enough. You are not good enough. You're never going to make it at this pace. So I have to purposely and intentionally force myself into asking myself, what is realistic for me to do today? How can I be incredibly supportive to myself today? Where am I starting? Am I starting at 100%? Am I starting at a really good place where I'm fired up and I can have very high expectations of myself? Or should I take into account that actually my kids didn't sleep last night and actually I didn't get the rest that I needed? Or maybe I missed my meditation this morning, which is the thing that holds me together. So depending on where you're starting, it gives you a better idea of what to expect of yourself. We frequently set ourselves up for disaster because we have this much energy and this much expectation. Our expectations are so much higher than what we can actually deliver. I see this happen all the time with people and their task lists. They'll write out their list of everything they want to get done today. And if they're honest with themselves, it's like 10 hours of work when really they probably have 30 minutes between calls to be able to knock out tasks. You can do yourself such a favor by just being realistic with what you can do. If you instead gave yourself 30 minutes of tasks and completed those, you would feel so much more empowered, so much more confident, so much more proud of yourself than having 10 hours of tasks that you're never going to be able to finish and telling yourself that you're not good enough because what's wrong with you? You didn't finish all those tasks. Do you see where I'm going here? So to wrap this up, I want you to be really supportive to yourself. I want you to think about, how can I take the best care of myself today? And for so many of us, this is so backwards from how we've done everything in our careers. We've achieved the success that we have because we hustle, we grind, we push ourselves, we muscle through, we get it done even when we don't feel like it. And that was a really helpful strategy for back then. But now we have kids. Our situation has changed. We don't have the availability to work 12-hour days and muscle our way through it. We probably also have a lot less energy than we did when we were in our 20s and when we were implementing those strategies. And we have to take better care of ourselves today, because if we burn out, it doesn't help anybody else. So now we really have to rethink the way that we do things. So I want you to approach each day from a very supportive place for yourself. It's going to feel unfamiliar. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel like there's no way that this is going to work. And I promise you, it absolutely can work. Gauge where you are. What's your energy level today? And maybe even have benchmarks for yourself. If I'm starting out the day at 5%, then my only goal is to keep myself alive, drink lots of water, rest between meetings, and give myself a break today. We'll start again tomorrow. If I'm starting at maybe 50%, then I'm going to have maybe a little bit more expectations of myself. We're not going for personal bests today, but we can do the minimum. We can get things done. If I'm at 100%, okay, now is the time to go all out, have high expectations of myself, be excited about what I'm going to build even bigger than what I normally build. So to wrap all of this up, I hope that this helps you to drop the idea that you have to be consistent, that consistency is the only way, and to give yourself a little bit more grace. It's okay to meet yourself where you are. It's okay to get done what you can get done today based on where you're at, and then just focus on fast recoveries. I have this saying for myself, I'm going to focus on doing this particular activity, whether it's exercising, meditating, whatever it is that's going to be really supportive to me. I want to do it every single day. And I might miss some days, and that's okay. I just won't miss 2. I hope this is helpful for you. Feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, comment below, share it with somebody who might need to hear this. And oh, by the way, are you on my newsletter? Because if not, you're going to love it. Go to mentalmastery.com/newsletter to sign up. I'll see you there.